Alrighty YouTube, another one of Kip's Clips. So a bit of breaking news, it's kicking off in South Ukraine. Not just any area of South Ukraine, but the very area where Russia has its Black Sea fleet. Now, just before I go into this, let's take a wee look at a map. This is the area here, Crimea. Very pro-Russian, due to the fact, well, I don't know if it's due to the fact, but here's an interesting fact that I found out the other day. Ukraine was originally a Russian territory, and then it was given away as a present to the people of Ukraine. I need to look more into that, but I heard it in passing, but just a wee tangent there. Now, this is very important, this Black Sea. It's important for Georgia, it's important for this whole South Caucasus kind of area, and you've got, that's what I was going to say, so you've got the Russian Black Sea fleet here, and if you go down to Syria, can I remember the name of the port? Tartus, there it's there. And Russia's port into the Med is in Syria. Now, I keep going on, World War III is happening right now. It's more or less Russia, it's the BRICS versus the rest of the world, or the rest of the developed world, who seems to think they've got more brains than the rest of them and can tell everybody else what to do because we sit in fancy chairs. But this is an attack on Russia's tactical capabilities. Can you imagine? Russia is it's not too happy about losing its port in Syria. So it's dug its heels in inside Syria, and its heels have remained dug in. I know people won't admit it, especially even like people that are from Syria would hate to think that their country's getting used as a proxy war. Unfortunately it is, and the poor people of Syria are actually paying for it. But they're stuck in the middle. I'm not for one second suggesting the Syrian people should just lay down and bend over and accept it. But unfortunately that country's caught in the middle at the moment, and it's geopolitically very sensitive area because of Russia's port into the Med. Then you've got what's happening in Ukraine right now, and Russia's Black Sea fleet is stationed in the Crimea. So I'm saying geopolitically, this is World War III. They're going after Russian ports. Okay, they're trying to cut Russia's military capabilities down. They lose their port in Ukraine. They lose their port in Syria. Takes a lot of their ships out of commission. Especially when you look at the ports and the access and refueling, so on and so forth, stuff like that. Now, let's get back to what's happening here.
Of the Republic of Crimea, and scores of people have gathered in front of the local administration, which is set to decide what to do next, whether to follow the political changes and support them happening in Kiev, or move away from Ukraine and closer to Russia. And basically the tensions there are very high right now, because there are scores of people, I'd say a few thousand, both pro-Russian activists and those supporting the new authorities in Kiev. And some are chanting, "We are with Russia," carrying Russian flags. Others chant, "We are with Ukraine." And they've even been sort of pushing each other. These crowds have been applying physical pressure on each other. So the situation is very tense. Of course, we will be monitoring and the way it's going to develop as well. Now, in the meantime, in another city around 60 miles away from here in Sevastopol, which is also the home to Russia's Black Sea Navy fleet, pro-Russian rallies have been taking place for the past few days now, with the last one, the biggest one, gathering tens of thousands of people. They've also voted for a new mayor of the city who's known for his pro-Russian views and who's promised to protect the city from the ultra-nationalists, more of whom have been coming to power in Kiev. In fact, we're getting reports that some of the right-wing leaders have threatened that they may send to Sevastopol what they've ironically called this train of friendship or armed radicals.
Well, that's most of the details there, but there you can see stating that Russia's Black Fleet is stationed right in that area, in Semipol or whatever it is, Crimea. Now, I'm going to, and also if you look at the map here, you've got Ukraine, Russia, that's Russia there, that's Russia, that's Ukraine, right? So it's very much a part of Russia, let's say. It has been very much a part of Russia for a long time. Now I'm going to make a prediction here and say what I think is going to happen. Putin is not going to let this Black Sea Fleet port fall. Full stop, no chance. They've done a coup. It's technically speaking, it is a coup. They have went against their own constitution, even the 2004 constitution. They haven't properly dealt with the current president that they're trying to kick out, and they'll say that he isn't the president. Technically speaking, with bureaucrats and legalese morons, he still is the president. It's whether the bureaucratic protocol wins over power of the people. Who knows what will happen there? I think Ukraine's going to be divided, very much so. Russia will take the east and the south, keep their ports, and the European Union will be welcome to the rest of it. And then maybe Ukraine, moving ahead, Ukraine could possibly be the new Berlin, in the sense it could be the exact area where the east versus west tensions meet. New walls, new Iron Curtain, who knows? So let's have a wee look at what this story's saying anyway. He covers most of the bases. Go and check out that channel as well. It's obviously a Russian channel, but what you will do is you'll get a lot of good visuals coming through from that, which will be a good source. So bottle, stones and flags flew in the air as thousands of pro and anti-Russian demonstrators clashed in front of parliament buildings in Semipol, the capital of Ukraine's autonomous Crimea region. So it has been autonomous. See, this is me just getting introduced to some of the ins and the goings on inside of Ukraine. So that I wasn't aware that that was an autonomous region. I was aware that the Black Sea Fleet was in there, but I wasn't aware it was autonomous. I would speculate right now maybe it has been made autonomous to protect the Russian Black Fleet. Just a guess. The rival groups are protesting for and against the new national authorities in Kiev. Part of the residents proclaim that Crimea is not going to obey Kiev, while local Muslim community of Crimean Tatars express support for the new Ukrainian authorities. So I'll leave a link for this, you can go and check it out. Pretty much just goes over what that dude was saying there in the clip. There's a couple of regions in and around this area here, the Crimea region. Let's see if we can get the Crimea border. Does it give you the Crimea border? No, it doesn't. It's not obvious anyway. So I'll leave a link for the article down below, you can go and check it out if you want. But it's kicking off. I suspect what will happen is Russia will move into the Russian troops navy. So they've got their navy stationed there. I would imagine they would have a good few thousand Marines in that as well, ready to just jump and secure the Crimea region. And I'd imagine there'd be a few territories. That's the Kharkiv or whatever. That's where the president was meant to be hiding. So what you'll find is the eastern regions very much more pro-Russian than the rest of it. So scary days. People thought the Ukraine was finished. No, it was just Putin was wanting to put the Olympics to bed and put his thinking cap on and then counter this. I've got a sneaky suspicion though that the West are actually falling into Putin's trap. They're dragging the West into conflicts that they can't afford and can't win. Think of that for a strategy. If you know that you can't take somebody on 1-on-1, what do? You create lots of wee bushfires, hundreds of them that they can't put out all at once, keeping them occupied, running from bushfire to bushfire. It's an analogy. Do you get it? I'm not saying there's army out there setting fires around the White House. I'm saying that, like, could be very much a Russian tactic to Russia-Chinese tactic to start up hundreds of little wee fires everywhere, and when the US, NATO powers are running around trying to put out all these fires, boom, they're following through with their real agenda. I just don't think. I think Putin's smarter than Obama. I hate Putin. He's a scumbag, right? He's a slave master. Enough said, man. I've got no respect for the guy, but he's definitely smarter, and he seems to be one step ahead of Obama. He's made himself look stupid worldwide, Obama, with these encounters with Putin. Putin's outfoxed him in every turn. In Syria, I believe he's going to be outfoxing him in Ukraine as well. I really believe that. Watch this space. He's going to absolutely. But anyway, I'll leave a link for that down below. Keep you up to date any updates or whatnot as they come through. Alright, to YouTube, thumbs it up. Check out the links below. Radio show, G.U.N.N, Glasgow Underground News Network, live every Sunday, 6 to 8 PM. Make sure you tune in for that. And leave all your comments below. Good, bad, ugly and indifferent. They're all welcome. Alright, to YouTube. Thanks for listening. Catchies.